Hello and welcome to the Trophy Cup. We got a very important game here, week 1. Lucian and C-Solar on a team. Lucian making a best case out of anybody during this FAF era for being the best player. Has won both the Imbo Cups. Have been quite dominant in all the matchups, so if you had to choose a player, he'd be the one. He is coming from France and he's got a Hungarian on his side, C-Solar. Hasn't played as much. One thing to know, I've never actually seen these two players play a team. I'm sure they have before, but it's a nice Hungarian-French connection. C-Solar historically on GGNORE was always respected in all the different circles, both on Setness and elsewhere. Extremely good, playing as EEF and Seraphim. And they are taking on Income and Renzilla. Income and Renzilla, two very good players. I don't think they're too high on their rankings. They don't play that too much, but in team games, it's like Mercine, Chosen, all them guys, extremely good. So definitely to be respected. Renzilla playing with Aeon. Income playing with Seraphim. So Income versus Lucian on the Seraphim battle. Aeon versus EEF. Aeon might be a better choice until EEF hits Tech 2 with the Riptides. And looks like second air. So far look at all the different builds. See a lot of second air. And this group, actually quite a difficult group. I don't think it's quite as even as the group of death. But we also got Kosher and Voodoo who better play today. Hopefully they play. Mag and Killer. And Mag and Killer, looking from far away, they do seem like the weakest team in this group, but they will give a surprise because both of those players are very good. But in this one, against Lucian and C-Solar, Renzilla and Income, they really got a victory. I can't imagine if C-Solar and Lucian lose this. They're so good. They would be able to crawl their way back into it, but although I have never seen them play on a team, so let's see how well they do in that regard. But Renzilla and Income, Voodoo and Kosher might be the best team in this group because they always played so many times together and they're both extremely good. And they're organizers of this, so if that gives any kind of advantage, I'm not sure. Income, a lot of power, still sitting on one factory. It looks like second Navy from Income, so that's one difference. He does have some Arty moving out, some engineers, and of course this island is going to be a major point of contention. We already see Lucian's ACU moving in that direction. He's got a scout moving in. On the other island between C-Solar and Renzilla, we actually see, looks like both ACUs moving out, so we're going to see ACU and ACU fight on both islands. And here comes, look like first to land and third air from Renzilla. So not second air from these two guys. Lucian moving out with a scout and Inties looking for any drops, so we can see the direction of both these scouts from both C-Solar and Lucian. They're looking for the transport, the quick transport that they can shoot down, but they have not found it because it wasn't there. We just see some floating Arty moving in a different direction. Very important engineer here from Income. Great placement on a radar. As you're going to see a lot of things coming in his direction. See, this is a pretty big map, but this direct path between the two bases. So far, maybe I'll put it at +2. I don't want to speed these up too much. I don't want to miss anything because this is about as good as a game as I have casted. I also would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for Pilot once again for creating FAF. And that was a great bomb there. Lucian, perhaps one of the reasons he is the best is his bombers. If he didn't have his bomber micro, like, way better than anybody else, maybe Zoc is pretty close, he probably would not be the best player. I mean, everything else he does is great as well, but if you had to point out one thing, it's Lucian's bombers. I see a successful drop now from C-Solar. A couple engineers, got a factory. And of course, another thing I'd like to mention, there have been casts from Freak Show and, well, I should just call him TJ. This is interesting. Engineers versus Arty, and this is all going to be about micro. Engineer chasing down an Arty. This is why Lucian. Oh, that was unfortunate. But Lucian making his way onto the island. He's going to try to save his engineer. And he still has 2 NGs still alive. There is a successful drop from Income on this island. Income not going to the island with his ACU, so Lucian should be able to take over on the island. However, we do see both ACUs making it there. Very similar situations. Looks like air control from Renzilla, however. We do gotta remember Renzilla is Aeon, and he's already at Tech 2 making Mercy, so Renzilla looking for a quick snipe, and in order to do that, he's gonna have to take air control, and looks like he should be able to. Great stuff from Renzilla. So as I was saying, Napalm and TJ have casted quite a few of these games. There's still 3 left, hoping Guile casts a couple during the week. And some good news, Squall, another channel, has just appeared for Subcom. Hopefully he keeps on uploading, because he gets really good quality on his videos. He just needs to fix the sound a little bit and stop zooming in and out so much. But here come a whole bunch of Mercies from Renzilla. And yeah, but it's total air domination from Lucian, so it'll be interesting. You don't want to send Mercies, that's at 300 mass each. 1500 mass in the air, each at 10 health. You don't want to get that shut down. It's a major investment. We also see pretty good aggression from Renzilla trying to deny Lucian's early naval. And here we get the frigates. Napalm did say these can't kill anything, but to the contrary, Income doing quite well. So it does look like total naval domination from Income, while Lucian does have control on the island. He does have some inties next to him, but here it looks like the Mercies are going to be pulled back. Of course, fuel on these is a major problem, and some of these might actually fall out of the sky because they're so low on fuel. So here come a major air wing from Renzilla, and Mercies are beginning to hit. Lucian, one more Mercy, and where is it? 9 minutes in, Renzilla takes out Lucian with some Mercies. That was a good use of Aeon. Even though Lucian did have his interceptors there, he just didn't have enough, it seems. And actually looking at this, Income looked to have pretty good control over Navy, and eventually with Tech 2 it doesn't. Yeah, it looks like he's got Tech 2 now. Destroyers, he probably would have put Lucian in huge trouble. Elsewhere, however, QsQuids still a very even battle. Looks like QsQuids in the water. He's got to respect the Mercy as well, so it becomes a 2v1. See major drops from QsQuids. He's going to try to get this game. He's not just going to roll over. Although we do see, actually map control, 2 big islands, 2 starting positions for Income and Renzilla, 2 empty islands, and one of them looks like QsQuids are going to try to pick up Lucian's old island. QsQuids also with Tech 2 making some destroyers. And Renzilla retreating, so if QsQuids was able to somehow snipe Renzilla, one of these ACUs, he'll be right back in the game. That would be extremely difficult. One thing to note though, total naval domination. This is great placement of submarines from QsQuids. A successful drop. So let's see if Solar can put up a fight. It's going to be very difficult for Lucian and QsQuids to come back from this. If they lose the game, they would have to win both the 1v1s in a row. Tech 2 mass extractor, Seraph and frigates showing their worth. And here we get the submarines. These submarines could really put Renzilla into a lot of trouble here. Although we do know Tech 2 air is present for Renzilla, so he can get some torpedo bombers, but still, might as well put pressure on Renzilla so he stops thinking. And they should be able to see the ACU on the Sorum, but looks like the submarines are just going to retreat. See a very important air fight. QsQuids does not want to lose this, and looks like he's in danger of doing that, because if he loses it, he's in the major ocean. He should be able to climb out into the island, however, but air has just now been shifted over to Renzilla. At the same time, Income with Tech 2 Navy, that's going to be very difficult for QsQuids to hold on to this island. Bombers and Tech 2 Navy all over that. Renzilla also with the drop, Tech 2 drop. Looks like this was supposed to go to the island, but to make an emergency landing. The contested island, Income takes that over. So map control definitely in favor of the team with 2 players. Meanwhile, a destroyer, successful destroyer from QsQuids. That's one thing QsQuids can do with the UEF Navy. If he gets good enough eco, he can get a big UEF Navy and start dominating. That will be difficult. Looks like QsQuids are doing good on this top island, so he's still fighting. But this is a major problem. That destroyer needs to be taken out if Sea Solar has any hope of grabbing that bottom island. Let's see if that actually happens. So Squall, new caster, if you want to check out his videos, I've already favorited his his first video, and he's on the right side. If people anytime wonder how to find the different YouTube casting channels for Subcom, just go to the main page of this channel and go look on the right side. They're all listed, so you can choose your own style. I think Guile's probably the best to listen to. It's just a pleasure. Really good to have him. Here we got a cruiser. It's going to be very important in terms of getting air control, but there is a cruiser here from Income as well. So it might be a cruiser on cruiser battle here. Seraphim versus EEF. Let's see these missiles. We got TMD on both of these, however. Really got to get some subs. These submarines would be great for Sea Solar on the bottom. Gunships flying into a cloud of interceptors to Sea Solar. So Sea Solar not ready to die yet. And actually Sea Solar moving multiple destroyers to the bottom island. It was a drop. It was that drop from Brazil. These engineers just walked on land trying to create problems, but against destroyers won't be able to do much. So Sea Solar really evening this out, so can't count them out yet. Looking at the ecos though, really good economy from Renzilla. He's got a big Tech 2 Aeon spam, a lot of swift ones. But here's Sea Solar kind of forgetting to kill off these units. Looks like he sent this navy to protect his expansion island, but let this cruiser slip through. Only one kill, but it will create a lot more. Also, submarines versus a destroyer. Of course, destroyer is going to win that battle. So the difficulty here for Sea Solar is where to send different units. And looks like here a cruiser plus shield. This is a really nice protection for this island. And two destroyers are going to go on a hunt against a destroyer, cruiser, and a frigate. Scouts from Renzilla here, minute 16. This island is very secure, although if this cruiser was moved up, wipe that out quite fast. Of course, no submarine protection for that small navy. And here we got destroyer versus a dying destroyer. So these could turn into really nice chunks of mass. Sea Solar on a major naval spam. This is good. Although Sea Solar not doing too much eco, he's trying to get map control. While a lot of teching going on here for Income. A lot of Tech 2, a couple of Tech 2 powers, and a major naval spam as well. Looks like going Tech 3 with his ACU. And here, this is a good move. Well, actually, this battle should still be won by the EEF destroyers. The best move for a Seraphim destroyer against EEF is to just dive. Nice chunks of mass. It's going to be a very important victory for Sea Solar. No more major navies for the top side, so the only big navy is going to be all these destroyers plus a shield. Actually, so many destroyers from Sea Solar, and maybe switch to cruisers a little bit. And it will be nice to get the cruiser back. This cruiser back here, put some pressure on another destroyer though moving out from Income. Perhaps to split up this EEF force. It's always a very difficult strategy decision. Keep your forces one or split it into two when you're in this position 2v1, because you don't want to open yourself up. But it looks like Sea Solar is just going to keep them all together. Major destroyer group, not too much anti-air though with it. Everybody switched to cruisers. He also has pretty good interceptor spam, and they're moving in. Of course, bombardment from destroyers. EF destroyers don't have very much range, but very powerful. And on a map like this, you don't really need too much range. Here's an Aeon destroyer. So in theory, if Sea Solar had air control, he could move in and wipe out this island with this EEF navy. He does have some problems here on the bottom. He needs to respond to this destroyer, which is going to start killing innocent units here once again. Good placement on the sonar though from Sea Solar. He can see most of the map. It's Tech 3 sonar. Really good. But multiple cruisers, you can see 2 cruisers in support of this. It's going to be major. So Renzilla could be in a bit of trouble. But of course, Income putting pressure here. Sea Solar needs to put at least some forces to the bottom, which here comes Sea Solar moving in. Air, of course, is going to be a critical part of this. We do see Tech 3 torpedo bombers, and that could be a major problem. There's just a single shield, so micro is going to be quite important. We do see support destroyers moving in from income. So we know how good Lucian is, and we're seeing just how awesome Sea Solar is as well. So this team is beginning to look very scary. I mean, you did a great thing. You took out Lucian, and 10 minutes later you're still under fire here. Although Sea Solar, why is he retreating so much? Oh, he's trying to get back to the cruiser, because there's no reason to retreat against a single destroyer like this. Yeah, this is good air control. Oh, of course, one cruiser does get taken out. Another Tech 3 torpedo bomber. You really need that shield back to protect against air. And there it is. Good target. Or those torpedoes trying to outrun them. That's never going to work. So both cruisers successfully taken out. The destroyers are in, however. Tech 3, okay, Tech 3 subs from income. That's going to be a major problem for UEF Navy. No torpedo boats together with these destroyers. So this submarine here is going to be absolutely deadly. And that's just not enough cruisers and shields for Sea Solar. And going up against Tech 3 units, both air and submarines, it's a little too much to ask for of your destroyers. Meanwhile, on the bottom we do see income still putting pressure. Multiple destroyers from Sea Solar. And really with the UEF Navy you need multiple shields. Just not enough shields. For these destroyers, they are going after the eco. So it's a successful mission from Sea Solar. But you can see the range on these torpedoes, how quickly they're killing off. It'd be nice to see that die. Some Tech 2 power. But still, Sea Solar very well in this game. He's got 3 islands. He doesn't have nearly as much eco, you can say, as for example, the Tech 3 power and Tech 3 mask extractors, Tech 3 Navy. Of course, that Tech 3 Navy is a major problem. And Tech 3 Air from Renzilla. So in Tech, he is behind. In terms of map control, he's dead even. And perhaps instead of attacking directly at Renzilla's base, this was a very difficult choice. He could have attacked this unprotected island. It appears Renzilla is going to hide behind Income's base. That's an interesting choice. Perhaps Seraphim Shields is what is being looked at here. And now one of the expansion islands for Sea Solar is going to be under attack. We see a destroyer in support with a whole bunch of Tech 3 Navy. So it looks like Income is the naval player on that top side, and Renzilla is the air player. This is good separation of responsibilities. Here we got the Tech 3 sonar from UEF. It does have capabilities to use torpedoes, but of course against the Tech 3 submarine, that's going to be very difficult. There goes the sonar. And given that they did separate their responsibilities, they're both at Tech 3, which means they have much better units. And here we see a single submarine just using range, absolutely abusing these cruisers. However, Sea Solar is having some success. And here come the shields. This is what you want. If you get the power, you got to use your shields. It's the best unit on the UEF Navy. Without them, they're just not as good. And here we see a single submarine just kiting against the UEF weak torpedoes. See if these shields can make it in time. This will be a major force, however. On the top, big problems for Sea Solar on that island. This destroyer, though, in a strange place, not doing too much attacking, just sort of hanging out. It's a big loss of opportunity. Tech 3 versus Tech 1 Air. It looks like Tech 1 Air from Sea Solar is going to die. These shields are a little out of position. Although cruisers completely wiped everything out. And a torpedo boat, this is good. But of course kiting, very well done. And 4 Tech 3 torpedo bombers standing by in case there's any kind of problem. I'm surprised that Renzilla isn't using them. Now it looks like air has been completely won by Renzilla, and here come the torpedo bombers. Perhaps they made a mistake there, flying over cruisers without dropping any bombs, and they paid the price. But of course these, yeah, and finally the shields are here. Oh, this is great. That transport got messed up. Here you see, with shields you just get a lot more chance to shoot. And there goes those torpedoes. Submarines going down. So Sea Solar having success and an unsuccessful drop. Looks like an engineer here. So Sea Solar beginning to get map control. Excellent play. So very good Tech 2 Navy finally with shields. Now with shields, UEF Navy is extremely scary. I mean, you needed a lot of damage to kill it, but what do we see? 27-minute chicken. That's where Income put all of his awesome eco. He does have naval problems, but it doesn't look like anything he can't solve. He might take a little bit of damage, but with air support and Tech 3 Navy should be able to take care of it. But this chicken is a major problem for Sea Solar's base. We'll see these submarine hunters looking for things to kill from Income. And an Aeon Navy now from Renzilla is going to take out that expansion island. And here we see the EEF. And you really want to kite with these. And these destroyers coming from underneath the shields. This is major micro problems. And once those shields go, EEF Navy goes as well. That's really unfortunate. Chicken is already halfway on the island, and at this point things are really falling apart for Sea Solar. I really wanted him to do better in this one. He looked like he was on a comeback bet. It did look like Income Renzilla had the much better ecos, and they made that chicken, which I don't really see what Sea Solar can possibly do. Oh, now we see the torpedo boats, and that's how you counter the Tech 3 subs. The little Tech 3 subs still have the range, but run into a whole bunch of retreating submarines. But now that you got torpedo boats, you also need cruisers to counter Tech 3 air. So when you attack somebody with so many different weapons, they gotta have a massive navy. You gotta have your cruisers, your shields, your torpedo boats, your destroyers. If you don't have all those units, they will pick you up. They will kill you with something you didn't counter. But this is good mix now. Got a single cruiser. Sea Solar though in a bit of trouble. Looks like, I'm not really sure why he's damaged like that. Maybe he was in the water. Obviously missing things here, and looks like this island's finally going to be completely wiped out. Successful drop with point defenses, so we've just seen successful attacks of both of the expansion islands. The Sea Solar is really down to 2 islands, and Lushan's old base is not too much defense here, so that's probably going to be next. But we do see the major assault from Income going against the Sea Solar's main island, with the chicken moving in directly. Power problems, it seems, for Sea Solar is trying to make ASF. And we can see this major Tech 3 Navy. And I think as soon as the Sea Solar sees the chicken, he knows this game is over. GG's all around. Sea Solar runs into the water, but really, once he loses his main base, he's got nothing. And it looks like he will die to Tech 3 torpedoes. And Sea Solar throws in the towel. So, an excellent game 1. This does put a lot of pressure on Sea Solar, and Lushan is not going to have to play a couple 1v1s if they have any hope of taking the victory. Hello and welcome to game 2 of this best of 3 between Sea Solar and Lushan versus Renzilla and Income. And in this one, the losing team, which was Sea Solar and Lushan, chose this matchup: Sea Solar versus Renzilla, both EEF, both going first land, and of course a great victory in first game for Renzilla, and Income put themselves in a really good position. Now they just need to win 1 out of the next 2, and actually if Renzilla wins this one, they get the victory against a very good side. That was a mercy snap against Lushan. Excellent stuff, really. The best play, maybe of the turning, maybe not the best looking play, but the most important, most effective. Looks like, not sure if this is second, looks like third air from Sea Solar. Interesting to see that both players chose EEF. Not really clear what Renzilla is going to do next. No, Renzilla is running to the middle. He's really chasing to the middle. I'm not sure if that's a good choice in this map. There is a little bit of reclaim, but CC Solar doing something completely different, and eventually is going to make it to the middle. Of course, just holding the middle isn't that good on this map because you got these high areas. I mean, you can just walk around it and attack the main base. Multiple scouts from C Solar. And the Mech Marine from Renzilla right up the middle. Looks like it's protecting an engineer who's going after the Hydros. Renzilla really wants his Hydra. We do see there's 4 Hydras on this map. First kill is Renzilla's Mech Marine on the bottom side, killing a scout. And the Mech Marine continues. We do see a tank response from C Solar to the bottom. An engineer retreats to reclaim a couple of rocks. Good Mech Marines from Renzilla covering both top and bottom. And good placement on the scout. Just going to hide there. Look for if anything's coming in. And this engineer is unprotected for C Solar, so this Mech Marine still has a chance if it is a little more aggressive. See multiple tanks, major response, and Renzilla looks like choosing to run into the middle. Meanwhile, Renzilla's ACU here before minute 3 is already in the middle. He's getting a Hydro, he's going to get a radar, and he's going to get a factory. So see exactly what he wants. A radar in the middle is going to be very valuable. And of course, this Hydra also quite valuable, but C Solar has used his ACU's build capacity, now getting air. And we do see a couple more factories planned for Solar. And a major land spam from Renzilla as well, but only 2 factories so far. Third coming up, 3rd and 4th coming up. Actually 3rd and 4th for C Solar as well. But perhaps a little more power. And you can't say that either because Renzilla has this Hydra, that's 5 pigeons. So let's see what C Solar got in comparison to Renzilla by sitting home. And now C Solar finally is going to move out close to minute 4. Tanks being produced in the middle. Let's look at Renzilla. You can see how good this radar is. This is a very nice radar. Sees everything that's happening. Of course, this is a group just outside the radar, an engineer picking up mask tractors with an escort of 2 tanks, and here comes a bomber from Solar. Let's see what he does with it. Basically just scouting early on. He's going to see that Renzilla is in the middle. Renzilla is going to get an air factory in the middle. So putting so many assets in the middle is dangerous. Let's see if that's a successful bomb. Because if you lose it, you've just lost Hydro, a bunch of factories. You'll be really on the back foot. No bombs yet from C Solar's bomber. He is producing Tech 1 flak. And that's 1 engineer killed. Another bomber coming out as well, but multiple flak. Oh, and this is a good bomb. That was 5 kills, so 6 kill bomber from C Solar. Yet another bomber will be successfully defended. Also interceptors moving in, and it does appear now C Solar is going to take this top position. He's not going to attack the middle. We do see an attack from Renzilla moving down, and on the top side, a very important fight, tank on tank. This is how close it is. C Solar barely gets it. Still an engineer alive for Renzilla. Probably won't live for too long though. So Renzilla just has the middle with a whole bunch of flak, while C Solar looks to take both of the sides. But multiple Hydras from Renzilla. Renzilla now getting some upgrades. And when you have this much power, that's an extra 200 power, you can count on being able to get those upgrades quick here in minute 6. See 5 land factories at the main base, all mask tractors taken. Power spam with a single Engie. C Solar very much controls this bottom side and has plenty of units on the top, but no engineers yet. And an Engie now moving in. One thing to note, Renzilla does not have the mask tractors in the middle. So all his mass is coming from the main base that we do see. Well, this is a mistake from C Solar. He's spamming power storage. You don't want to do that. That's so much of his eco going in that, and you don't want to put them right next to each other. A great opportunity to bomb. So he thinks these are power generators, but those are power storage. That's rather silly. Hope that doesn't cost him the game. And here we see flak masquerading as tanks, and C Solar isn't going to buy that. See how many of these he makes before he realizes it. That's already 700 mass. He's about to waste another 250. But Renzilla just got the gun, but ran out of units in the middle. An astonishing lack of units from Renzilla. See Solar absolutely dominating in terms of number of tanks. We do see Renzilla has the gun. And See Solar doing a good move, taking out the Hydra, the major asset that Renzilla had. No contest in the middle, and on the bottom looks like a victory for Renzilla. So Renzilla has a chance to counterattack. And now Renzilla retreats, and with the gun he should get a lot of veterancy. And this right here, great, 5 kills. About to get a couple more mass extractors. This is a nice sneaky artillery. I'm not sure I got there, but ooh, the madness continues. That's going to be 150,000 or 1,500 mass lost. Renzilla, meanwhile, 14 kills. Has lost both Hydras, in danger of losing both factories in the middle. And looks like instead of just attacking all these independent units, he moved these tanks in support of his ACU in the middle. Meanwhile, C Solar has retreated to get his gun upgrade. Top, absolutely no contest. Completely given up to C Solar. We do see some scouts from C Solar. And 3 power storage from Renzilla as well. That's kind of an overkill, in my opinion. And finally, the madness has stopped, and C Solar has switched to power, which, if this was all power, it'd be a lot of power. C Solar might have some power problems, but looks like he's just got barely by 34,000 power storage. It could be an asset later on, but Renzilla going a little crazy. 32 kills with that early gun. He's completely pushed C Solar back through the middle. Of course, once Solar does get the gun, he should be able to even it out. 37 kills, so far the gun working very well for Renzilla. I'd love to see Renzilla do a little bit of attacking on the sides. He did a little bit here, leaving 2 mass extractors. But this is now very well defended, a point defense. And you need to take a little micro, a couple artilleries to take that out, otherwise it's just going to be feeding point defense veterancy. Renzilla now 45 kills. C Solar with a gun of his own, 17 kills moving out. The Hydras are not rebuilt. And C Solar with 34,000 power and storage can do 6 overcharges at the maximum reload rate. C Solar 51 kills, just a madman in this one. 1 kill for the point defense. Do we see any RT moving in to take this out? Still no RT whatsoever. It'd be very difficult to break this with no RT. And a major force now from C Solar taking the top ground. Renzilla, perhaps a little too crazy. 54 kills, and now C Solar with a gun. Also, one thing to note, C Solar has total control of this reclamation field. Renzilla retreating into C Solar's base, and this is you see all these reinforcements for Renzilla running by the point defense. 10 kills in the point defense. It'd be nice to have those 10 tanks banked for Renzilla in support. He needs to stop that. Make Marines running into their death as well. Elsewhere we see problems for Renzilla. He's got problems in the middle, major force from C Solar, and looks like this force in the middle is going to be sandwiched from 2 different sides. Not enough defense at all. This is total domination by C Solar. And Renzilla now 67 kills, being chased into the top corner. Not the best position on your best unit. C Solar is now completely devastated, both the middle and the right side, although there is a nice sneaky tank here. Got in just before point defense. Renzilla looking to counterattack. He can use his gun to take out the Hydra and this point defense. More factories going up for Renzilla. I don't see any Tech 2 mass extractors, but a major power plant. Probably a little too much power for Renzilla. Renzilla trying to get some tanks to counteract this forced Tech 2 air from C Solar. And now this game is just slipping away from Renzilla, who has no air, and with gunships on his ACU he's got no more options. So Renzilla was a madman in this one. With his gun did some crazy things. Interesting play, but C Solar just too solid. Made no mistakes, waited for an opportunity, got the better eco, got the Tech 2, and killed the crazy man with the gun. So it's a 1v1, and it's going to be decided by Lucian versus Income. Hello and welcome to game 3. In this one we got Income and Lucian. It's 1v1 tied, best of 3. So this is the deciding game. First land from Lucian, first land from Income. Both Seraphim players. They did face each other in game 1 across from each other in Roanoke, where it was a pretty good game. Although it looked like Income actually had the control of Navy, while Lucian had somewhat control of the disputed island. But then, of course, Renzilla had to screw everything up with his mercies, and eventually won the game because of that. But of course, Renzilla couldn't handle Sea Solar on this map, and Sea Solar on this map could play against anybody. And of course, that resulted in a loss. Renzilla did play quite well with that gun, but it will have to be decided by Lucian and Income. Big opportunity for both teams. Whoever loses this is going to be in a pretty big hole in this group. Of course, Lucian and Kosher, another very strong team, as well as Mag and Killer. Mag and Killer should not be discounted in this one. They can totally surprise, especially depending on the map, any of the other three teams. Of course, now we got Income moving into the middle. Very aggressive Income, just like Renzilla was, and Lucian just like Sea Solar, going with the ACU that's a little more calm, choosing to build before it goes out to kill. First to land, third air from Lucian. And it looks like it's the exact same idea. NG and ACU to the middle, going to grab the Hydros, probably going to get the radar. Engineers moving out for Lucian. And in support, a Celine, good placement on a Celine. These are nice Celines from Lucian on either side, so he knows exactly what's going on. Just saw two tanks move in. You gotta probably not send that engineer in. Gotta get a response. And a whole bunch of factories planned for Lucian. Meanwhile, we do see Hydra nearly complete from Income. And a tank here for Lucian, looking for any expanding engineers. And it does look like now two tanks in the Celine are gonna move in. Lucian takes the advantage. It looks like the tanks got separated a little bit using the superior fire. 2 versus 1 gets the victory, although a tank from Income gets one back. Income, meanwhile, gets a factory in the middle. Got a radar in the middle as well. Very similar to Renzilla. It worked quite well for Renzilla, and now here Income running into a Celine that's now blocking the mass spot. 3 versus 1. Lucian is going to win this battle. And these Celines, invaluable, absolutely invaluable. This is why Lucian knew to send all these tanks to the top and none to the bottom except the first one. This is how he was able to maximize his advantage. And actually, an engineer survives. That's extremely important. Bombers from Lucian. Lucian with his best card bombers by far. That was his third air. See what he does. And of course, Seraphim bombers, absolutely devastating. There goes to engineers. No more land spam from Income. Income 2 Hydras getting the gun. So Renzilla, Income must have practiced on this, and this is a good move. But against Lucian and Sea Solar, so far it has not worked. But let's see if it works against Lucian. Lucian visiting the middle. Has got some Ardian tanks moving in. If he can prevent Income from getting his gun upgrade, those would be very devastating to this strategy. Lucian almost not having to do anything on the bottom here. He gets engineer, point defense, and up on top, still a very even fight. This already 3 kills. Lucian in danger of losing the top. Counterattack from Income. He's going to try to protect his ACU. We see bombers getting shot out of the air by Income, plenty of flak, and that's all we saw for Renzilla. He made a lot of flak, and then he eventually realized most of his forces were flak, and he got pushed back out of the middle because of that. That's really the power of making air. You force the land composition of the other player to not be as good as yours, even though on radar it might look like it's superior. And that's just ridiculous. Both Hydras killed. Income, though, with the gun now moving out. Lucian has retreated all the way back to his base. It's a very safe play from Lucian, pulling everything back, choosing to attack with bombers where there is no flak. Renzilla now probably will take the time to take out the bottom base. So far, extremely even. Lucian with his bombers avoiding the middle, looking for things to kill. See, the land spam has been restarted by Income, and that's one thing that's very disturbing for Income. He's only got 5 land factories to produce units with, unlike 7 plus an air factory from Lucian. So Lucian is going to have a lot more tanks, and Lucian pulling all the way back against the gun, choosing not to feed. Sea Solar did feed Renzilla's crazy ACU.
But Lucian just pulling everything back. We do see some sneaky tanks moving in though from Income. And also good placement from Lucian protecting the top corner. It will not allow any engineers to take it. And a good point defense from Lucian. We did see Solar with a really nice point defense up on top last game. So a good placement on a point defense, always a good asset. And now Artillery is going to take that out. Looks like the bottom is going to belong to Income. But Income, major problem with his bombers. Now staying sure into air from Income will put a stop to the fun. And an assault by Lucian that should be defended. We see a response. And these bombers are just freaking ridiculous. 10-kill bomber from Lucian. And now Income having to retreat to play defense with his gun ACU. Meanwhile, Lucian with the gun of his own moving into the middle. And Lucian has pulled out his massive force, attacked the bottom, so map control. No man's land on right and left sides. Middle completely belongs to Income, but not for long. Lucian moving in with his gun. 16 kills for Renzilla. And good attack now for Income. So very even game. Both players with the gun, a little more air from Lucian, although he's paused that now. Looks like Income slowly catching up in terms of factories. Income now moving in, leading with his ACU, 19 kills. Lucian 5 kills, denying a couple of mask structures and hydras. I'd like to see more land factories from Income. This is good. Nice force there from Income. One thing to note, these Salines have been alive all game. Invaluable. Income trying to keep his units behind the ACU. Want to avoid feeding the other player. 30 kills versus 11 kills. And now Lucian moving in. And here this is where micro becomes critical, especially with all the Seraphim artillery. It looks like Lucian with superior numbers trying to move in. We do see tanks and support from Income, but are they going to be fast enough? That was a nice over. It looks like Income just got hit by a whole bunch of artillery. So Lucian with a killer instinct, seizing on the moment, seeing that Income wasn't dancing well enough. And that really came down to micro at the end. If Income did a little better dodging against the Arty, maybe a couple more overcharges. So one thing I did not see is overcharges. And I think it was an overcharge in the end from Lucian, and Lucian sitting at 2,700 health. Pretty dangerous play, and at the same time we see Lucian wasn't really in control of this game. So 10 minutes, Lucian gets the victory. And victory for his team in this best of 3. A lost opportunity for Income and Renzilla. But of course they still have a chance in this group, and week 2 should be quite good.